3, 2, 1, go! So we're going to immediately skip the intro cutscene and go straight into Palmtree Panic, which is green. It's a hill, but it's not a zone. Instead, it's what Sonic CD calls a round, which are completely different from zones, except basically exactly the same. And instead, we call acts zones in Sonic CD. Nobody knows exactly why. Got the troll spring. Nobody knows exactly why. It's just Sonic CD being different. So there are a few setups for bouncing on enemies in that level that unfortunately I didn't quite manage to pull off. But we move. You can't really lose that much time on Palmtree Panic 1 anyway. We're going into Palmtree Panic 2, which is a fairly straightforward level that can't rough you up too badly. So instead I'll be talking about the main gameplay mechanic of Sonic CD, which is time travel. So this, many years before Sonic 06, this introduced time travel to the franchise. If Sonic hits one of those signs that says past or future, and then goes at about 88 miles per hour, you'll travel into the past or one of the two futures. Either good future or bad future, depending on a load of criteria that we won't be seeing in this run because we're doing the bad futures run. So we're going to go into the bad future now for Zone 3, because Zone 3 is always a boss battle and it's always in whatever future you've unlocked. And we haven't got the good future, so here we are in Dr. Robotnik's bad future Palmtree Panic, which looks kind of like Sonic 3's Angel Island zone after it's been torched. And a little bit scuffed on that boss, but you get the general gist of it. Bit of a design flaw on the old boss there. Putting shields at the front, no shields at the back. It's funny that Dr. Robotnik would do exactly the same thing with the Death Egg robot, but the Death Egg robot keeps repeatedly kicking my butt every time I try it, so I can't really diss it too much. We're going to move into Collision Chaos now, which is Sonic CD's answer to Carnival Night, Casino Night, and all the other various nights zones you get. Its gimmick is flippers and bumpers and randomness, and it's quite good at roughing me up, as you saw there. Get that bumper. Raise that, come down here. Try and avoid the enemies, fail to avoid the enemies. Depends on where you land. Hopefully get a good yeet off this. We did indeed get a really nice yeet, which is all you can really ask for. We're going to Collision Chaos 2, which is actually my least favourite Sonic CD level. Hopefully we don't find out why. It involves something I like to call the Use of Doom. It's one of the most egregious examples of bottom route being horrendous in a Sonic game. Sonic really didn't want to bounce then. So there's a frame perfect trick that gets you over that without having to do the bubbles. Ooh, that was unfortunate. So peel out and jump. And then try to land. We were hoping for something a little bit smoother there, but we managed to avoid the Use of Doom, so that's at least something. So you may have noticed that we went on the ceilings there. That's not a glitch. That's not considered a glitch. There is, however, something related to going on top of ceilings that is considered a glitch, and I'll discuss that when we get to it. But first, we get to the boss battle of Collision Chaos, and this is exactly what you'd expect the boss to be in a world ruled by bumpers and flippers. That's right, it's Sonic Spinball. However, And very easily dispatch Sonic's Spinball if we get the precise angle off that flipper. Sometimes you don't, and then you're in for a world of hurt. But this time, things went okay-ish. So we move on to Sonic CD's answer to Labyrinth Zone, which is Tidal Tempest. Its gimmick, of course, is water. And this is the one place, the one and only place where any percent and no major glitches diverge. So in the any percent route, we'd be bouncing on top of the ceiling and then clipping through the ceiling. But clipping through the ceiling, unlike bouncing on top of the ceiling, is considered a glitch because it's using a wall or a ceiling as a mere suggestion. And that's no good. So instead we go the scenic route. Get to see some of the water in this water level. Setting up for some prime bounces. Heal out. And job's a good one. And then we get to a level where if everything goes well, and honestly I've the last few practices have been a little sketchy on this front. We will be going into the past deliberately. Usually going into the past is not something that you try do. But here, just as a treat, Sonic gets to go into the past because it's actually quite considerably faster. So bounce off there, go up there, get the momentum required to go into the past, and now we get to experience the best hold music of all time. Yep, that's right. If you never realised this before, there is no US soundtrack for past levels. It's always the Japanese soundtrack. Okay, so another peel out to get into the goal. And now we go into the boss of Tidal Tempest. This is the first, last and only time you'll see Sonic made a good future in this entire run, so don't get used to it. There is no good future for Sonic in Sonic CD, no major glitches. So first of all, Sonic did not steal my jump. Climb the stairway to heaven. By heaven we mean Dr. Robotnik. I mean, Dr. Robotnik is heavenly. Now we bounce on him 4 times. That aggravates him and makes him go to his boss arena. And then we're going to try and set up for a quick kill situation here. It's been very clutch as to whether I get it. It's quite precise. So I'll shut up and try do it. We got it. So hopefully you saw what happened there. Sonic really does not want to cooperate with the jumps. And we move on to Quartz Quadrant, which is a fairly straightforward little level. Not a massive amount to talk about. It's just a load of treadmills. Slightly rusty there. Do a little jump there to speed up going through that bit. Ooh. Recovered. I thought I was a goner then. If you jump on the springs in a particular way, you end up getting sent to the top route, and that's the one and only time in like the entire history of Sonic the Hedgehog where going into the top route is a bad idea. Actually, I digress. Wacky Workbench, the next round, has a lot of that going on. Okay, we didn't go into the past. I actually got quite a nice route through there, all things considered. Okay. Having a bit of teething issues on Quartz Quadrant too. So it is just a lot of finagling your way through. Now we go to a little boss battle I like to call, and I think others like to call, Leg Day. We always ask ourselves, has Sonic skipped Leg Day? You'll see why. Although you can probably guess what the boss is going to be like, given the gimmick of the round so far. Yep, that's right, it's a treadmill. And Dr. Robotnik is going to drop bombs on us, which we need to avoid, because we need to go fast, because we're Sonic the Hedgehog. Dropped a little too high there, actually. So I have two visual cues that I try and use here. One of them's the white light or vertical position. Ugh. Okay, that's not good. And the other one's that building there, horizontal. Unfortunately, that has slowed us down a little bit. So we don't get the optimal run through of Quartz Quadrant 3. But not to fear. The real-time losses are going to come in Wacky Workbench. Nothing to do with Amiga workbenches, though I wish it was. So this particular round has some of the best music on the soundtrack, which doesn't really make up for how iconically evil it is. So the gimmick of Wacky Workbench is those bouncy floors. They make a cool noise and they shoot you off into the air where you don't want to be at all. Okay. We're golden. And now for Wacky Workbench 2, I'm going to try a strat that looks cool when it works and looks ridiculous when it doesn't. So either way you'll get entertained. So this comes through Pimp Ouija and Co-Empathy. So I think we're slightly off cycle. But we're going to travel into the past, go around this, jump off, travel into the past, and finagle our way down to the bottom. And there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Just avoiding a whole lot of bother. I'm probably not actually going to get a lot of time saved there, because I slightly bumped myself into a lot of things on the way to the end, but at the same time it looks cool, so I'm happy with it. Okay, and now Wacky Workbench 3, the boss where we get to say hey hey away to Dr. Robotnik, as the music will tell us. So we want to avoid exactly what just happened there, if at all possible. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And then Dr. Robotnik is going to repeatedly mine the top of the boss arena. Something very Mystic Cave Zone about this boss. And we're just going to keep repeatedly bashing him until he goes away. so we always stay on the furthermost block, because otherwise the block won't rise high enough. Except for this one where we go here, so we can bonk Dr. Robotnik and make him do the #1 dance craze of 1993. Everybody was raving. The egg dance to Ultra Beat and the Macarena. Okay, so we now go into Stardust Speedway. And the gimmick of Stardust Speedway is speed, unsurprisingly. So we're going to try go fast. Imagine that in a speed run. These levels tend to have very nice straightforward routes through them. If you get off the route, if something bonks you off the route, then you're in for a world of hurt. But as long as you can stay on the route... Oops. Then things go nicely. Okay, moving on to Stardust Speedway 2. This one looks fairly cool when it's done appropriately. I can't guarantee satisfaction, but I can guarantee that it should. I can guarantee that it should only take around 30 seconds. Okay, so go in there. Do one loop, then 2 loops. Oops. I didn't follow through then. Should have really kept going. Sometimes Sonic just do be like that. And now we move on to one of the most iconic scenes in Sonic the Hedgehog history. It's the original and still arguably the best Metal Sonic fight with one of the best songs on the US soundtrack. So I won't be talking too much over this so you can savour it. It is briefly interrupted by Dr. Robotnik doing a laser disco, but we move. So this particular level has an annoying tendency to kill my runs. But we'll see if it kills this run. So Metal Sonic has 2 attacks. If he's ahead of you, he'll do a slow attack that just basically blocks you off a bit. If he's behind you, he catches up to you using a really fast attack. And quite honestly, most of the time it's best to let him go ahead. Okay, we move, we're gaming. There are swag strats to rescue Amy. They've never worked for me, so I just blow her up. And then we move on to Metallic Madness. Sadly, we don't get the Is This Anime music in the US soundtrack. Instead, we get one of the greatest pieces of atmospheric synthesizer known to man. So, try not to go into the past. It's a real nightmare on this level. Deliberately stopping there to avoid going into it. You do not want to get crushed by that pillar. If at all possible. And now we move into one of the most brazen examples of things that look like they should be a glitch but aren't in Sonic CD11. with Metallic Madness 2, which is also one of the most annoying instances of a precise trick that can make or break a run. So I'm just gonna casually, low-key go onto the ceiling. And we're going to casually, low-key go off the ceiling. And then we get these pillars. And I'm going to stay here for a while. Until I get that. And the reason we do that is because it's a heck of a lot faster than doing the whole level. Which you have to do if you're playing Sonic CD 93, so there we go. That's an advantage to Sonic CD 2011 right there. Now Metallic Madness. This level eats me for breakfast. So we just have to get around the Pit of Doom. Often easier said than done. That was frankly horrendous. Then to the real final boss of Sonic CD. Okay. Now we're on to the final boss, the alleged final boss of Sonic CD, the rotating D-pad Robotnik. We need that because we need to do a damage boost coming up. Okay, and time will come up when the screen fades completely to white. Which will happen very shortly. And time. And that, I believe, is a new PB, despite completely messing up Metallic Madness 3. Which is interesting, to say the least. Ugh. So 1511 would put me